He was known as the man without a face because he was very clever at never getting his photograph published anywhere. And he was a genius working for the wrong side. But even people from our side had respect for him because he was so damn clever and he
Mhm.
figured out these strategies.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The spies that I interviewed would take their hats off to Marcus Wolf, kind of like a mutual respect for, a really great chess game player. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
they never ever spoke about him with hatred or any type of negative feeling, really. It was more just like, yeah, that's what he did, and wow, yeah, he did that. you
Exactly.
know.
Yeah, it is exactly that way.
hmm who's your favorite spy?
Well, how do you define favorite?
How do you define favorite?
Well, I'll frame it this way. Look, I like any human being, I'm going to warm up to a person who is capable of receiving that sort of interest on my part. So my very first spy named Earl Pitts, I there's a lot to say about him. He was from the Midwest. He was an attorney, worked for the FBI, and he had a sort of professorial kind of demeanor. He was smart. He was not a blowhard or grandstander. And the reasons that he had for crossing the line, I believe, partially were, I'll use the word accidental. That's grist for the mill for another entire program. I won't go into it right now. But I was able to form a pretty tight relationship with him during the time that I knew him. I kept up with him over 20 years of his incarceration in federal prison. Many letters were exchanged back and forth with him. And when he got out, roughly a couple of years ago, I reconnected with him by phone, by letter, and I actually went out of my way and bought him a Mac laptop so that he could get connected with a world that changed so vastly during the time he was in jail. And so
Mhm.
we still have a kind of a reasonably tight relationship that's episodic, but still, I like to go